call Daniel Koster his name?
That's your right answer. You swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
You may be seated. And ladies and gentlemen of the jury, this now starts the evidence in the case.
Please introduce yourself to the jury.
My name is Daniel Koster. I was Mark Koster's brother.
And for the record, would you spell your last name?
Koster.
Mr. Koster, where do you currently live?
I live in by Boise, Idaho.
And how long have you lived there?
I've been there almost 2 years now.
Are you employed?
Yes.
What do you do for a living?
I drive a semi.
And how long have you been doing that?
I started driving semi in 2007.
Where were you born?
I was born in Osage, Iowa.
And do you have siblings?
Yes, I had 5 brothers and 5 sisters.
And do all your brothers and sisters still live in Iowa?
Right now, there's none of them living here anymore.
Beside Mark, or any of your brothers or sisters deceased?
Yes, the oldest one, Pat, he died in 1988, and then my sister Christy died in February of last year.
Otherwise, your brothers and sisters are spread out through the United States?
Yeah, there's 4 of them up in the Twin Cities, and then out west, and I got a brother out west, and a sister in the east.
And who were your parents?
Edgar and Dolores Koster.
And are your parents still alive?
My mother's deceased. She's been passed away in 2000. And my dad is here in court.
And is your dad's health different today?
Objection, Your Honor, relevance.
If I may, Your Honor. There's going to be evidence that with the father and Mark fishing, and they weren't fishing in the last year before Mark passed away. Want to explain why?
Over.
You can go ahead with the question.
Repeat the question.
Sure. How's your dad's health today?
He
Your
has
Honor, again, I
dementia.
object as to the phrasing of today. He's talking about 2009. Let's make that clear for the jury.
I'm going to start here with back.
Why don't we start from 2009?
All right. Mr. Koster, in 2009, how was your father's health?
He started getting dementia.
And has that improved?
No.
When was your brother Mark born?
I believe 1951.
Did Mark graduate from high school?
Yes, he did.
And where did he graduate from high school?
St. Ansgar High.
After high school, did Mark join the service?
Yes, he joined the Marine Corps.
And do you know how long he was in the Marine Corps?
He was in for a year.
After the Marine Corps, after a year, did he go on to school, or do you know?
Yeah, he went into computer programming.
What was back in the early 2000s? Well, this would have been when he would have been in computers, and after he joined the Marine Corps, did he go to different states, or where did he live?
Yes, he's lived in Texas, he's lived in California, he's lived in quite a few places.
Did you ever go to visit him when he was in Texas?
Yeah, well, we lived together the first time down in South Texas, and then later on he had moved up to northern Texas.
And when you went to see your brother Mark in South Texas, do you know about what year you were there?
Like 84 is when we were down there.
Do you know what your brother Mark was doing? That's where he lived.
Well, we were working at this factory down there, and then it closed, and then he moved up to northern Texas, where he worked in a convenience store.
Do you know when your brother Mark would have moved to northern Texas?
The mid-80s, like 85 or 86.
And did you go up to visit him when he was in North Texas?
Well, I moved to Arkansas by then. Yeah, I went down there a couple times because I had other family members that lived in Texas.
Do you know, was Mark living with anyone in North Texas?
He had an apartment by himself, but then he moved into a 3-bedroom trailer house with a friend that he worked with at the convenience store.
Do you know the name of the friend?
Tom Felke.
Do you know that Tom Felke worked with your brother Mark?
Yeah, he worked at the convenience store and they shared a 3-bedroom trailer house in Ponder, Texas.
Did someone else, do you know who their manager was at that time?
Yeah, John Green.
Then at some point, to your knowledge, did Mark move to Florida?
Yeah, 1988, he was staying in a Winnebago at John Green's house because John Green had moved back down to Florida with his wife and kids.
We've been talking about Mark. What type of guy was Mark?
He was a happy-go-lucky guy and liked to work and save his money and take time off and go fishing.
You like to go fishing?
Yeah.
Did Mark stay at a job for a long period of time?
Yeah, he would stay as long as he could unless he got laid off or anything. But he always saved his money so in case he did get laid off.
In Florida, when you went to see, did you ever go see Mark in Florida?
Yeah, I did in the spring of '88.
And was the defendant, I'm sorry, was Mark staying with anyone at that time?
He was staying in the Winnebago that John Green had in his yard there.
And then from Florida, do you know where your brother went, what state he went to?
I believe he moved to Little Rock, Arkansas.
And at some point, to your knowledge, did your brother Mark come back to Iowa?
Yeah, after a while he moved back to Iowa and he bought a house in Sac City.
Do you know about when that was?
Probably like 99 or early 2000.
When your brother moved back to Iowa, to your knowledge, do you know why he came back to Iowa?
Well, I told him, you know, it'd be a lot cheaper there to live in Iowa, working at a convenience store than it would be in a big city where everything's more expensive.
And did your brother rent a home or bought a home, or do you know?
He bought a house there.
Did your brother, to your knowledge, was he involved in the stock market in any way?
Yeah, he bought and sold stock online.
Do you know if he had any success with that?
Well, yes, he always told you about the successes.
May I approach?
Yes.
Mr. Koster, I handed you what has been marked as case exhibit number 2. You recognize this photograph?
Yes,
And who's in this photograph?
that's my brother Mark and my niece Christine.
Okay, the state would offer as evidence case exhibit number 2.
No objection, Mayor.
2 to see.
Permission to publish.
Yes. Haley, some of the exhibits you made that may be introduced and received, they may be published to you like it's being done now, to see them. But in any event, the exhibits that are received, you will have available in your jury room to review in case there's something that you don't feel that you had adequate time to look at these pictures during the trial. They'll be available to you.
There's a little bit of a glare, Mr. Koster, but you see your brother. Was this photograph taken a few years before 2009?
Oh, yes. So then in the 90s.
And then in the 90s, was to your knowledge, was your brother diagnosed in 1990 with paranoid schizophrenia?
Yes, I believe so.
And when he was diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia, did he look similar to this?
Yes.
And you saw your brother after his diagnosis?
Oh, yeah.
Did you notice any change before you knew he was diagnosed and after he was diagnosed?
Not that I can tell. I mean, he just liked to be alone, so. But he's still sociable because he moved fishing with us.
Did your brother, when you were around in the 80s and the 90s, and were you around him up till 2007?
Yes.
And you even saw him a few times in 2009?
Yeah.
During that time period, did you ever see, even after he was diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia, did you ever see your brother Mark become violent?
No.
Did you ever see him attack someone?
No, he liked to argue with you, but, that's about as far as we go.
So when your brother moved back to Iowa, do you know where he was employed?
Yeah, he worked at a place called Cytel. It was a telemarketing place in Carroll, Iowa.
The home that your brother bought in Sac City, can you describe a little bit for the jury?
Well, it was a real old place. It was kind of run down, and Mark didn't like to spend a lot of money on repairing much, but, it was livable.
Was it a one-story, two-story house?
A single-story house.
Did it have a basement?
Yes.
And have you been to the house when he was living in Sac City?
Yeah, I've been up there a couple times.
And when Mark was living in Sac City in the 2000s, do you know, was he still doing online training?
Yeah, he was.
And he was still working as a telemarketer?
Yep.
I want to turn your attention to the year 2009. In 2009, in the beginning of the spring of 2009, were you having as much contact with your brother Mark at that point?
No, I didn't go up to Sac City to see him, but he used to stop down at my dad's house in Auburn. I used to see him drive through town when he was going from Sac City or down to Carroll to work.
In 2009, where were you living in the spring?
I was living with my dad in Auburn, Iowa.
And how close was that to Sac City?
It's about 20 miles.
So in the spring of 2009, would you drive by your brother's house in Sac City at times?
Yeah, once in a while I would, because I drove semi, so sometimes I go by there in my car, and sometimes I might go by there in the semi.
Was there ever a time when you would go by his house in the spring of 2009 that you saw a vehicle that was not Mark's car?
Yeah, in June, Dad and I went up to my sister's cabin in western Minnesota, and we just happened to take that route up past Mark's house. There was a car parked in the driveway that had Texas license plates on it.
To your knowledge, have you seen that before anytime?
No, I've never seen that car before.
Okay. You didn't stop in to see your brother or anything at that time?
No.
Turn your attention now to July of 2009. Were you contacted by law enforcement in July of 2009?
No, I was contacted by the water department.
Do you know what that was in reference to?
Well, they said Mark hadn't paid his water bill, and they put notices on his door and in his mailbox that they were going to turn his water off. They said, well, it was unusual because he always paid his water bill in full and on time.
Did you go anywhere then?
Well, the chief of police came up there because the water department said they'd have the police up there when Dad and I showed up and they were there.
So this would have been in July of 2009?
Yes.
So you and your dad go to your brother's Mark's house in Sac City. What did you notice from the outside? Anything different?
Well, all the doors were locked, and there was a note on the back of the door that said, I went to Florida with Tom, I'll be back in the spring.
May I proceed?
Yes.
Mr. Koster handed you state exhibit number 23, photograph. Do you recognize this photograph?
Yeah, that's my brother's house.
And does this photograph show the doors open, but when you went there, they were not open?
Yeah, it shows they were open, but they were locked shut when we came there.
So that although this photograph may not have been taken in July of 2009, would you agree that this photograph is a fair and accurate depiction of how Mark's home looked in July of 2009?
Yeah,
The statement offered in evidence states exhibit number 23.
No objection, Your Honor.
23 is received.
Permission to publish.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Koster, looking at the photograph, state exhibit number 23, there is a glare, so I apologize. In the picture, there's two doors open. You see that?
yeah,
Were they open on in July of 2009 when you went?
no,
You mentioned, to kind of get a layout of this house, is this the front or the back of the house?
that's the back of the house where the kitchen's at.
So if we're looking at the photograph on the screen, the door to the right, what room would you enter on that door?
That's right where the kitchen is.
And then there's a door to the left. Do you know where that is?
That comes into a little porch where it's towards the back.
And was there a front door on the other side of the home?
Yes, there's one in front.
Was there a driveway at that time for the home?
Oh, there's a driveway, yeah.
And if we, kind of hard to see on the photograph, is the driveway to the right or the left of the house?
It's on the right side.
And did Mark have a garage at the time?
Yeah, there's a two-car detached garage.
And if we're looking at the photograph, is the garage, you go down the driveway behind the house, is that where the garage?
Yeah, it's set back about probably 10 feet from where the edge of the house would be.
So when you look at the house in July of 2009, it was in the daytime,
Yes,
and when you walk around the house, did you check all three doors?
yeah,
And were they locked?
yeah, they were all locked.
How about the windows? Can you tell me about them?
Well, they were all locked and shades were down.
You mentioned something about a note on the door. Which door was that on?
The back door.
Which of the two back doors?
Well, the screen door, and then you have the interior door.
That was a poor question on my part. So you look at Space Exhibit 23, we have a door you said that enters the kitchen.
Yep,
Then there's this other door.
yeah,
Which of the two doors from
the
the
one on the right,
The one that enters the kitchen.
right,
So the door that enters the kitchen, there's a screen door,
yes,
and then
it's out.
that opens out.
Yep.
Then there's a wooden door. And which, the screen or the wooden door was it no on?
The screen door,
The screen door.
I'm pretty sure.
One of the two there.
Yeah, it was on one of them.
Okay. And was it taped to the door? How was it on there?
It was taped.
So when you saw the note, did you just leave the house or what did you do?
No, we were curious of why the house was all locked up and my Mark's car was still there. So I told him that he could go ahead and
And you would have kicked the wooden door to the kitchen in?
kick it. Yes,
Did you go in the house?
yeah.
What did you notice, anything different about the house when you went in?
Well, I noticed that it was really clean, which Mark wasn't a really tidy person. So it was a lot cleaner than I've ever seen it.
And did you walk through the room?
Yeah, I walked through, past his computer, and there, and he said he had a pipe in his ashtray.
In what room was the pipe that you noticed?
Once you walk through the kitchen into the living room, he had a little chair and a little table there with a computer on it.
Why did,
His ashtray is next to the computer.
so there was an ashtray, was it a tobacco pipe?
Yeah,
And why did that catch your attention?
well, because if Mark would have left anywhere, he would have left his pipe, because, like I said, he liked his money, he would have turned around and went back to get his pipe.
Yes. Get your witness your desk.
Mr. Koster, at hand you Space Exhibit number 1. Do you recognize this?
Yeah, that's Mark's pipe.
The state would offer the evidence Space Exhibit number 1.
Objection, Mayor.
One's received. May I publish that? I don't believe it's going to work very well on there, Mr. Koster, but when you saw your brother's pipe, that caught your attention. Did you say anything about that at the time?
Well, yes, I mentioned that, I said, Mark on the left without having his pipe, because, even if he would have done more work and he left his pipe at home, he would have turned around and went back and get his pipe.
Did you walk through the home and look in the different rooms to see if
Yes,
anything else caught your attention?
we went into every room and checked it out, his bedroom, the bathroom, his utility room.
In the bathroom, did you look to see if any personal items were left behind?
Well, I noticed that his, toothbrush, his toothbrush and, shaver cream and all that stuff was out of the medicine cabinet, but he had a whole bunch of socks sitting up on a little shelf that he had washed and just set them up there.
But the toothbrush, the shaving kit, you didn't see any of that?
No, his medicine cabinet was empty. And the refrigerator door was propped
Now you're familiar with your brother's home, correct?
Yes.
I'm going to show you State's exhibit. Number 4.
Is that the demonstrative pictures, or
I'm going to show you State's exhibit number 4, Mr. Koster. The layout of your brother's home on the main floor, does it show it on this photograph?
That's it.
That's a fair and accurate depiction of how the room will look.
I was a carpenter.
Okay, you have experience. The state would offer State's exhibit number 4 in evidence.
no objection.
Where's received?
Mr. Koster, can you see that okay?
I see it fine.
Okay, better eyes than I do. I'm going to hand you a laser pointer. Press down on this red. That would be important. Mr. Koster, kind of give us a layout of the main floor. You talked about a back door that would go into your brother's kitchen. Can you show us on State's exhibit 4 where that would be?
About right there.
So there's a kitchen area.
Right.
And when you walked in, you mentioned to the jury that you saw your brother's pipe in an ashtray. Can you show us about the area that was in?
Right there.
Where it looks like, for the record, right when you enter the kitchen to the living room, dining room area.
Right. Just to the right of that walk right
Okay. When you went into the living room, anything else you said was the house was clean? Anything about the living room catch your attention?
there. Not in particular, other than the light was there, but the house was really clean. It was Mark did not clean his house.
Did you go in? Which room did Mark use for his bedroom?
That one right there.
It's on the Stacy exhibit 4, that's kind of north center room with a, looks like a bed inside.
Yes.
Could you tell, looking at Mark's bed, was he lying on the bed?
Yeah, he had blankets and sheets and there was pillows there.
And what room would have been Mark's bathroom?
Right there.
And that's where you went in and you noticed the medicine cabinet was empty, the toothbrush and shaving kit was gone.
Yeah.
Did Mark have a washer or dryer?
Yeah, he had a washer and a dryer.
Where were they in the house?
I believe right in there.
And you're showing that other second door that we saw in the back,
Yeah.
that room area there, you would have his washer and dryer in.
Yeah, because that's where you have the little, the trap door to go down in the basement, to get to the basement.
Okay. We see on the State's exhibit 4, it looks like there's steps going to the basement. Can you show the jury where that is?
Right there.
Now, when you say trap door, is there a door that you have to
Folds
lift
down
up?
onto the floor.
It's right on the floor.
Right.
But you have
Just
to
lift it up, go down.
pull up, set it against the wall,
Correct.
and then go down the step.
Yeah.
When you were in the house in July of 2009, was that door to the basement open or shut?
It was closed and there was a broken down window unit air conditioner sitting.
Sitting right on top of the door. So you'd have to physically move the broken down air conditioner to lift the trap door to get it back. Did you go in the basement?
No, I never did. The chief and one of the partners went down there.
So after you guys walked through the house, did you go into the garage?
I believe I walked in their garage.
Okay. When you went in the garage, did you notice any cars in the garage?
Well, Mark's car had been parked outside like that month or so earlier when I went up to Minnesota with my dad. It was sitting out in front of the garage because the door was open, but this time the car was inside, but there wasn't any keys in it.
What kind of car did Mark have?
It was a little Chevy Geo
You remember the color?
red.
So Mark's car was inside, was the garage door open or shut?
It was open. Well, there was two doors. One was closed and one was open.
Was there something else that was stored in the garage?
Yeah, this lady and her husband rented half of Mark's garage out and parked their boat in there.
And when you're saying one of the doors was open, which one was open?
The south door
And which one would that be, by the boat or by the car?
by the car.
When you went in to look at Mark's car, did you look for keys?
I looked to see if the keys were in the ignition and on the floorboard, but I couldn't find any keys.
At that time, did you look for the title of the car or anything?
No,
You just looked for the keys?
yes.
I forgot to ask you, we talked about the note that was on the door, and you told the jury with the note, you remember it. Was there a phone number on the note?
Yeah, there's some kind of resort, the name of the resort, I don't remember the name, but there was a number on it. Because I actually called the number a couple times, and I did get a hold of somebody. They said, no, they never heard of Mark Koster staying at this resort, or checked in or checked out.
So you checked out the number and were able to locate the number?
Correct.
Did you tell the chief at this time, did you talk to him about whether or not you should do a missing person report?
No, not at that time, I don't believe I did.
You didn't do one at that time?
No, because the note said he'd be back in the spring, so, you know, maybe there's a possibility maybe that he did leave, but that pipe was there, most of his clothes, that kind of threw a little suspicion that, did he really go to Florida or not?
So at that time, how was it left? Was the house closed back up?
We closed the door back up when everybody left.
And was it just to kind of wait and see if Mark turned up?
Yes, for a while.
At some point, did you contact where Mark Koster did his banking, check with the bank record?
Yes, I went up that day because I wanted to find out when his last transaction was to make sure that, you know, how long he's been gone. And they told me they couldn't give me that information other than, they said, in the last few, or back in the middle of May sometime, that he had a transaction, but that was his birthday. So I looked on his car and seen that he had bought his 2010 license plate sticker, so I figured that might have been the transaction.
How about his mail when you were at the house? Did you do anything with his mail that was there?
Yes, I opened up his bank statements, and I went out there every month after that, and I pulled all the junk mail out, and the bills and all that, 'cause there was like a week or so worth of May's mail in there, all of those, and part of July.
And so you went through your brother's mail. Did you find any bank activity to show he was
The
making
only
any transactions?
activity was the bank charges $2 a month to have an ATM card, and they kept taking $2 a month out automatically, but there wasn't any, you know, check checks written or ATM withdrawals or payments made.
So no bank activity that you could see.
Um,
And then in May of 2010, did you contact the Saxon Police Department, or did they contact you about going back to your brother's house?
We did go back there again, yeah.
And do you remember why you went back in 2010?
Well, I wanted to file a missing persons report.
And did you do that?
Yes, I did.
Why in May of 2010 did you decide to do a missing person report and not in July of 2009?
Well, because if he was gonna come back, if he just went out and disappeared and did come back, you know, it was springtime or getting close to summer, so it's almost been a year, so I knew that he wasn't around anymore.
And you had still been checking the bank transaction.
Yes,
Did you go to Mark's home again?
I was up there a lot because I'd have to go up there and mow the lawn and, you know, check the mail and make sure nobody, you know, entered the house.
Did Mark's house in May of 2010, did he appear to be in the same condition as it was when you were there in July of 2009?
Yes,
At some point, Mr. Koster, did you take some type of legal action with your brother?
yes, I hired an attorney to get him declared dead so we could get his bank account closed out and do something with his property because a couple of my sisters had paid, the taxes on it, and then the one time I paid the taxes on it too. We needed to do something with it.
And that's what they call a civil action you had.
Yes,
And was he declared legally dead at that point?
yeah, the jury took about a half hour. They agreed with everything we presented them that he was no longer alive.
And did that allow you guys to go forward and sell the home?
Yes, I got his bank account closed out and stuff like that, and then it gave me authorization to sell the property or do something with it.
And do you remember who you sold the home to?
A guy named Les, I can't think of his last name.
Ben Gamson?
Yeah, that's him.
When you sold the home to Mr. Gilson, did you or other, let me start with you, did you go in the home and take out things after the home was sold?
I took it all out before I sold it.
So you were familiar with the items that were left in the home?
Yes,
You obviously knew your brother well. Was Mark the kind of guy that would have an umbrella?
no, he never had an umbrella in his life.
Now, when you cleaned out the home, before you sold it, Mark's home, did you ever see an umbrella in the home?
There was no umbrella in the house whatsoever.
Prior to Mark going, what you thought he was missing at the time, you said you'd been in the home in Sac City when he had been alive.
Yes, I've been up there a couple times previous to that.
And when you were in Mark's home when he was alive, did you ever see a baseball bat?
No,
When Mark was living in Texas, you stayed with him for a while.
well, he lived with me once in a while.
Did you ever see a baseball bat when he was in Texas?
No, he had a fishing pole and a baseball bat.
And when you went down to see your brother in Florida, when he was in that Winnebago, did you ever see a baseball bat there?
No,
Did you ever see him when he was in Arkansas?
yes,
And were you in his home when he was in Arkansas?
we stopped at my mom and dad's house at the time because they had moved.
And did you ever see Mark with a baseball bat there?
No, he traveled fairly light. He had dishes in his clothes and just the essentials that he needed to get by with.
When you were cleaning out the home, did you look for the keys to Mark's car?
Yeah, I looked for the keys to his car, I looked for the title to his car, I looked for the deed to his house.
Starting with the keys to the car to Mark's red Geo, did you ever find it?
No, I never did.
How about the title to Mark's car?
No, I couldn't find it because I went through all his boxes, all his drawers, under the couches, under the mattress. I went through everything except the ceiling tiles.
How about, if you said the deed to the house, did you ever find that?
No, I had to get it one printed up.
Since we're talking about a deed to the house, is your knowledge that Mark bought the home with money and not have, he did not have money?
Objection, Your Honor, it's going to call for a hearsay response.
I need to hear the question first before we can address this model. Please do not answer the question until after the question is asked.
The question is, Mr. Koster, to your knowledge, did your brother Mark own the home, or did he have a mortgage with the bank?
Your Honor, he's not going to have personal knowledge of that. It's going to be hearsay. If I can voir dire the witness.
Yes.
Mr. Koster, you didn't own that home, correct?
No,
So any knowledge that you have about the title of that home, or how it was purchased, or whether there was a mortgage or not, that would have come from someone else telling you that, correct?
no, I know how it was purchased.
What's the basis of your knowledge?
Mark paid,
Now,
No, sir.
what's the basis? How did you learn that information?
Mark told me.
That's your statement.
Let me do it this way. Mr. Koster, to sell the home, you said you were looking for a deed.
Yes,
A deed to the home, not a mortgage.
right.
Did you find the deed to the home?
No, I didn't.
And did you need the deed to the home to sell it?
Yes.
Mr. Koster, do you know your brother's habit of getting the mail? In other words, was he the person that would get the mail every day, or every so often, or take it out?
He might let us in his mailbox for a week before he'd go out and get it.
But he would collect it after a period of time.
Yeah, because he knew he'd have some bills.
I don't have any other questions, Brown.
Captain Cross.
Morning. You stated that your brother was kind of happy-go-lucky.
Yes,
But it's true that he also liked to argue with you, right?
true.
And you would call him a loner, correct?
Yes, he'd be alone, but he'd still get together at family reunions or, celebrations of some kind.
Well, when you talk about those celebrations or getting together as a family, those had all stopped, you said, by about 2007, correct?
It was after 2007, like about 2008.
Okay, so about a year before he went missing, correct?
Yes,
He cut off all ties with the family, correct?
yes.
Disowned the entire family, correct?
I guess he disowned us, but we didn't disown him.
I understand that, but you had no contact with him,
Right.
for an entire year, I believe.
Other than seeing him drive through town.
He worked down in Carroll.
Yes,
You lived in Auburn, correct?
yes,
That's north of Carroll,
yep,
south of Sac City.
yep.
About how far would you say from Sac City?
Well, Carroll would be about probably 32 miles, because it's 12 miles to Carroll from Auburn, and it's about 20 miles from Sac City to Auburn.
Okay, so when you would see your brother, would he stop to talk to you?
No, because I'd be driving my car, or if I was walking, he was just driving through,
Right.
going to work.
He knew where you lived though, right?
Yes,
He never stopped in to check, are you right?
not in 2009 and half of 2008 is about when he stopped in.
Okay. So about a year before this incident, correct?
Yes,
Okay. And that wasn't just you, that was the entire family.
well, yeah, not all of my brothers and sisters lived around there, just I did,
Okay.
and my dad.
And I guess it was a little bit more than Mr. Hammerhand's question, but I mean, are you trying to say that Mark and your dad stopped going fishing together because of your dad's dementia?
I don't know, I think they had arguments, and Mark just decided he'd stop visiting.
So Mark and your dad had a falling out to the best of your knowledge.
Yes, I wasn't there when it did.
Well, an example of that though, you and your dad went fishing right around June of 2009, correct?
Yes, I lived in Minnesota.
You drove right by Mark's house, correct?
Yes,
You guys didn't stop in to talk to Mark, right?
no,
Because he didn't want you around, right?
I guess he didn't.
Well, I'm not asking you to guess. If you would have stopped, would Mark have been upset with the fact that you were there?
I don't believe so, he wouldn't have been.
But you didn't stop, did you?
No, we were on our way up to Minnesota.
And you saw this car with out-of-state plates.
Yes,
That didn't make you concerned enough to stop and say, hey, who's living with Mark? Who's there with Mark?
it didn't concern me because I figured it was one of his friends.
Okay? And Mark, as you said, he was alone, right?
Yes,
He didn't have anybody living with him in that house from the time that he bought it up until the time that he went missing, as far as you know, right?
no, he's never had anybody living there.
Okay. Mark was a baseball player at St. Ansgar High School, correct?
Yes,
Played on the baseball team.
yes,
You said he went through, he was in the Marine Corps.
yes, he was.
So he would have gotten Marine Corps training,
Yes,
went through basic training and taught to be a Marine.
yes, he did.
You know, may I approach?
Yes.
Mr. Koster, my hand was been marked as a defendant's exhibit. Do you recognize what that is?
Yeah, that's my brother Mark.
And the picture that the state had offered, you said that was back in the 90s. Is that close to what Mark looked like at around the time that he went missing here?
Yes, it was.
You know, I offer a defendant's exhibit.
Okay. May I go right here, witnesses for the Defendant's Exhibit A, Mr. Koster, you know, is this the driver's license picture of your driver?
I believe it is, yeah.
I have no objection.
Commissioner Publisher?
Yes.
So that's what Mark looked like at or around 2009, correct?
Yes.
You stated that you were aware that he was diagnosed as a paranoid schizophrenic, correct?
Yes.
It would not have been uncommon for Mark to just disappear without telling anyone.
Well, he had left a few times, and he might go off somewhere for 5-6 months because he saved up enough money to go off and, you know, explore, go to different places.
Okay. And when he would do that, though, he wouldn't tell the family members where he was going. He wouldn't tell anybody where he was going.
Well, we didn't really know where he was going. He might go out to Arizona or, Texas or wherever he felt like going.
Okay. Exactly, but my point is that he didn't tell you ahead of time where he was going, right?
Usually not.
Okay. Were there times where he did tell you where he was going?
Well, one time he told me he was going to go out to Arizona.
Okay. And then he would just be gone for 5 or 6 months at a time.
Yes.
Okay. So that was another reason when you were there in July of 2009, that you weren't overly concerned enough to do a missing persons report, right?
Correct.
He had gone missing in the past before, and he'd always shown that go.
Right.
Mark was a frugal person, correct?
Very.
But he was not somebody who would squirrel away money, correct?
No, he would save up his money because so he knew if he was unemployed for a while that he had enough money to live off of and pay his bills.
I understand that. I guess I should have chosen a better word. His savings, he would have done that in the bank, correct?
Yes.
That was your knowledge of his habit, practice, and routine, was that he would put his money in the bank.
Yes.
He didn't have a pile of money stuffed under his mattress, correct?
No.
You took it upon yourself to look through his mail and whatnot when the mail had piled up, correct?
Yes.
And you saw the information from his stocks and from the bank, correct?
Actually, there wasn't any stock information, so at that time, I believe he wasn't having any money in the stock market because it would have been some kind of like statement monthly or every quarter or something.
So, to your knowledge, he had gotten out of all that.
Right, he was probably just sitting back watching the stock.
That's sort of speculation on your part, correct? You don't know?
Yes.
Okay. There wasn't anything suspicious as far as you could tell in his bank records, correct? Other than inactivity.
That's it.
He had money sitting in the bank.
Yep.
When you took care of, when you did the action to have him declared legally dead, you had the house sold to Mr. Dalesy, correct?
That was after a year or two after that.
The purchase price of the house was about $5,000.
Yes, that was 5,000.
The timing of things, the reason that you got involved was because the water department had contacted someone, correct?
That's correct.
It wasn't someone from the family saying, hey, we haven't seen Mark in 2 months, we need the police to come in and check this out, correct?
That's correct.
And in that next 10 months, you didn't have any contact with the police department between July of 2009 and May of 2010, correct?
I may have spoken to them once or so in between there.
Mark had very set views on things, correct?
True.
If you didn't see things his way, it would upset him.
Well, I didn't want to argue with you.
I don't have any further questions for this one.
Be correct? Yes, Mr. Koster, you mentioned in 2008 when you seen your brother, Mark. How much did he weigh about that time?
He weighed about probably 140, 150. He was about the same size as me because we could wear each other's clothes if we wanted to, even shoes.
So around 2008, he only weighed about 140, 150 pounds.
Yes.
And how tall was he then?
He's probably about the same height as me, 5'10", 5'11".
Mr. Kendall was asking about, when we were going through the mail, your brother's mail, and concerning bank statements. Did you see any other bills, for instance, did he have cable TV or anything like that?
He didn't have cable, but he had telephone and he had an electric bill.
So he'd have his telephone, electric, utilities,
Right. Water.
no house payment that was coming every month.
No.
Mr. Kendall was asking you questions about your brother liked to be alone. Does that mean he never socialized with people?
No, he would talk to people that he's seen out there, whether he's at a convenience store or a grocery store.
You were asked if your brother liked to argue. Did Mark like to argue?
Yes.
When he would argue, would he become violent?
No, he'd just raise his voice.
Would he throw things at you or do anything like that?
No, he never did anything such as that.
No other questions, thank you.
When you say he never did anything like that, you're talking from your own personal knowledge, correct?
Well, being around him, yes.
Okay. But that's just based on your own observations, right?
Correct.
When you say he socialized with people outside of the home, were you with him on those occasions?
No, but my cousins were. He used to stop over at one of my cousins' house and talk to them.
So again, you're getting that information secondhand, correct?
From my cousins.
Okay. And what's the time frame that we're talking about here when he's visiting the cousins?
Well, they lived in the same town, Auburn, as my dad and I did. I didn't ever know when he was actually over there, but my cousin Tom, we talked a lot, and he would say that, you know, Mark stopped by for a half hour or hour.
Okay. When's the last time you recall Tom saying something like that?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I mean, I just seen Tom yesterday.
Okay. This when he told you this stuff was just
No,
yesterday?
he told me back when Mark was still around.
Okay. But again, you're not trying to say that somehow during that period of time, the year before this, that Mark was having regular contact with family members, right?
No, he didn't stop that, but he may have stopped to see Tom, you know, but we weren't his brother and sister.
You were the folks that he had disowned, just the siblings and
Yes.
Okay. No further questions.
No additional questions.
Makes sense, Counselor.
May this witness be excused?
Kendall?
Yes, sir.
And I think we'll take our morning break at this point. I'm going to read to you an admonition. It basically says all the same things that I told you yesterday during the process of jury selection, but I do want to, it's more appropriate to you now that you are all members of the jury. And again, I'm going to read this, and in the future, when we take our breaks, I'll simply ask that you remember this admonition. Under your oath as jurors in this cause, you are admonished that it is your duty not to permit any person to speak or communicate with you on any subject connected with the trial of this case. You are not to talk with any of the parties, their attorneys, or witnesses during the trial, even upon matters wholly unrelated to this trial. You may not communicate about this case before reaching a verdict. This includes cell phones, electronic media such as text messages, email, Facebook, Twitter, etc. Do not do any research or make any investigation about this case on your own. Do not visit or view any place discussed in this case, and do not use internet maps or Google Map Earth or any other program or device to search for or to view any place discussed in the testimony. Also, do not research any information about this case, the law, or the people involved, including the parties, the witnesses, the lawyers, or the judge. This includes using the internet to research events or people referenced in this trial. This case will be tried on evidence presented in the courtroom. If you conduct independent research, you will be relying on matters not presented in court. The parties have a right to have this case decided on the evidence they know about and that has been introduced here in court. If you do some research or investigation or experiment that we do not know about, then your verdict may be influenced by inaccurate, incomplete, or misleading information that has not been tested by the trial process, including the oath to tell the truth and by cross-examination. All of the parties are entitled to a fair trial rendered by an impartial jury, and you must conduct yourself so as to maintain the integrity of the trial process. If you decide this case based on information not presented in court, you will have denied the parties a fair trial in accordance with the rules of this state and will have done an injustice. Should anyone try and discuss this case with you or in your presence, you should not listen to the conversation, but should immediately walk away. If the person should persist in talking to you, try to find out their name and report it immediately to this court. You are admonished not to converse among yourselves or with anyone, including family members, on any subject connected with the trial of this cause. You should not form or express an opinion on this case until you have retired to your jury room to deliberate. You should keep an open mind until you have heard all of the evidence, the statements and arguments of counsel, the instructions of the court, and until the case is finally submitted to you. Not only must your conduct as jurors be above reproach, but you must avoid the appearance of any improper conduct. You must avoid reading, listening to, or watching news accounts of this trial, for sometimes such accounts are based upon incomplete information or contain matters which would not be admissible in court and could unduly influence your ultimate decision. The lawyers in this case are under an obligation not to talk with you. Do not think or consider them to be aloof if they do not greet or visit with you outside the courtroom, for they are merely abiding by their ethics and the rules of this court. We'll resume at 5 to 12 or 5 to 11. Would you take the jury, please?
All rise.
With respect to the news persons that are here, I spoke with a couple of you individuals that were here earlier, and I indicated that because of the location that you have and the proximity of the jury, I do not want, when you come in here, take your spot and stay there, because I do not want people wandering around the courtroom, because, especially because of the location to the jury, is distracting. It's distracting for me from watching, and I'm sure it's distracting for attorneys or for jurors, because periodically I saw them turn and look to the individuals who had been who had moved. And so, please when you come in here, please take a spot and stay there. And I think everybody we talked about yesterday, and some of you guys weren't there. If we can be over here on the left-hand side, so that you have a view of things. But